Welcome to the Know. I'm Meg Turney.
I'm Ashley Jenkins.
Destiny faithful are all geared up for the official expansion revealed, scheduled for tomorrow, but it seems that Microsoft accidentally spilled the info beans just a little bit early.
Wait, what story are we talking about? That could be any of them these days.
It's all of them!
In addition to giving us some early tidbits about what to expect from the new expansion, we may have word of some changes that probably won't sit too well with a sizable portion of the game's fan base. Apparently, the new expansion won't be supported for last-gen consoles.
What? Actually probably a good thing though for everyone else, but we'll get to why that is later.
Yeah, one day ahead of Bungie's Destiny livestream, both DestinyTheGame.com and the Xbox Store listed Destiny Rise of Iron for a few precious moments, just long enough for savvy guardians to take screenshots.
Yes,
it's the internet. You didn't think it could go away, did you?
No. First, the game's marketing materials leaked early. Now this. Bungie is really not having good luck with Destiny leaks lately. It's like double the leaks.
Nobody's safe during pre-E3 week, though.
No.
Even Bungie's marketing director chimes in with a tweet of a leaky pipe. So I guess that's a level of confirmation, right? I mean, being on probably the Xbox side and their own site was confirmation enough, but even more so,
they're playing with the internet.
Extra leak.
Yeah, they're being cheeky. Anyway, the actual info is as follows. First off, the listing on the game's official website gave us Rise of Iron's release date, which will be September 20th, which would put it right in line with the game's second anniversary.
A leaked release date isn't too big of a thunder stealer for Bungie, but what happened next on the Microsoft Store is just a little bit worse. Click and find out. Over at Xbox.com, a listing for Rise of Iron appeared, giving the expansion's story description and confirming what will be included with the update. That's a lot of the detail.
Yeah, it is. About the game's story, Xbox.com said, the wall which stood for centuries along the southern border of Old Russia has collapsed.
Oh no.
Fallen mutants now scavenge the tombs of the Golden Age, and the plague they have unearthed is more dangerous than even they understand.
Dun dun dun. The leaked description goes on to say, join Lord Saladin, journey into the Plague Lands, learn the fate of the Iron Lords, and stop the growing threat before it is too late.
Yes, next week on Game of Thrones. So, just as the last leak indicated, this is indeed the story about the game's long-fabled Iron Lords, who are honored in the Iron Banner, which is one of Destiny's regular PvP events. It is cool to know that just one Destiny Lord Junkie is out there and keeping tabs on it for us.
Also included in the description is a full list of just about all the content the new expansion is going to be adding. Some of it's not too surprising for anybody familiar with expansions, like new story campaign and quests, and new armor, weapons, gear, all that stuff.
Yeah, however, it also confirmed other new content that'll no doubt get those Destiny addicts pretty excited. A new maximum light level, so you can continue grinding endlessly with no hope in sight, a new raid, and a new strike.
We love the new grind. Always, constantly, forever, there is no end. And according to the list, the game will also be introducing a brand new enemy faction to grind against. Bosses as well, a new zone, and a new social space.
What?
So you'll have more places to do nothing for the next couple of months.
What are you talking about? I'm doing the dance. Jump on it. Okay, all in all, just seemed to confirm the earlier leaked information we got about Rise of Iron just a few weeks back. At the time of the leak, a source verified to Kotaku that Guardians would be doing battle with one of the game's alien races called the Fallen, with a twist, which seems to be that the whole mutilated Fallen stuff talked about in the description we already covered.
Mutilated or mutated?
Mutated. Okay. Well, when you mutate,
They're
you've been
pretty
mutilated.
All right, so slightly remixed content you've already been playing for way too long. I mean, that sounds like Destiny, and Destiny expansion should be exciting.
Absolutely. Kotaku's source also claimed that we would indeed get a new raid as part of this expansion, correct? And that the content of Rise of Iron would be bigger than the game's content found in the game's first two expansions, The Dark Below and House of Wolves.
At the time, we engaged in a little bit of lore speculation about whether or not that raid would involve the defense of the last city, which seems to be still on the table, given the fact that the description talks about one of the walls falling.
However, the raid does more than likely deal with whatever new horrors the mutated Fallen have unearthed in the Plague Lands, and players have to venture there and then be like, hey, got it out.
Maybe the defense of the last city is for Destiny 2. Yeah. The new information aside, one of the more interesting parts of the leak is the lack of mention for last generation platforms, like at all.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. We get it. Everyone has moved on from last gen.
Unless
Not
you haven't.
true. But last gen players actually make up a sizable chunk of Destiny's player base, and development for them has hindered some of Destiny's content in the past.
While Activision isn't all that interested in giving out Destiny's actual sales numbers, they claim it's got around 30 million players, which is the closest thing we've got to that. Estimates place last gen sales totaling around 3.5 million copies total.
However, that number doesn't include digital sales, which industry analysts say have risen to more than 50% of all video game sales. So we could be looking at somewhere between 4 to 6 million players total who are left in the dark with this new update. That's a really genuinely significant number and would be a big dent in the sales of Rise of Iron.
To be fair, it could just be that the information about last generation platforms is an oversight. However, the listing on Destiny's site did specifically call out that Rise of Iron is indeed coming to Xbox One and PS4. It'd be kind of strange to mention those and ignore the rest if it was also coming to those.
Yeah, exactly. Whether or not last gen support is real, much of the Destiny fan base would probably be overall positive about them dropping it, because in the past, here's how developing for last gen consoles actually hindered what Bungie's been able to do in the game, and it leads to a lot of technical issues.
Yeah, last year's Destiny lead UI engineer spoke about these problems, citing last gen consoles as the reason the vault size was limited for Destiny players. In a March update from last year, they actually had to remove certain features for Xbox 360 and PS3 because it was proving too unstable.
So, while it's no surprise that Bungie eventually had to leave last gen in the dust,
It had to happen sometime.
yes, it is at least a surprise that they chose now to do it, rather than trying to string the audience along or stir them along until Destiny 2, which is supposed to hit next year.
Supposedly.
Yes, this may even mean the game starts getting its next engine updates sooner rather than later.
Don't worry, last generation. Maybe in 2 years you'll be able to buy Rise of Iron Remastered, because that's the way these things seem to go nowadays.
Yeah.
Once you've upgraded, you'll get it all again, but prettier or not.
Or stuck onto like a game you didn't want. So, what do you guys think of Destiny's expansion leaking again? Let us know in the comments.
And for all your future leaky video game news, like this video and subscribe to the Know. We should rename ourselves to, like, The Pipe.
Anal. However, that number doesn't include digital sales, which industry and almost said analysts. However, that number doesn't include digital sales, which industry analysts have. Sorry, I saw anal again. I couldn't stop. Just can't stop.
Yeah, to be fair,